I was scared to death, Ryan, he yelled while dragging you inside the bedroom. You knew he was mad, too mad to listen to any of your words right now. Do you even realize what you were doing? What if I couldn't have reached there on time? He exclaimed once you both reached your shared bedroom. The whole mansion was silent and only his scoldings could be heard. For a brief moment, you didn't speak a word because you knew that he was angry. Tell me why? Why you left alone? He exclaimed, earning a sigh from you. You just wanted to spend some time alone. Is that your fault? No. I just wanted to spend some time alone, Jungkook. Being surrounded by your bodyguard is definitely not my kind of thing. You were being stalked, Ryan. You realized how dangerous it would have been. You might have got kidnapped. He exclaimed loudly while you tried to calm him down by holding his hand, but nothing happened to me. I'm here, safe and sound. You mumbled, trying your best to end the argument right here. You didn't want to push this matter further, but you noticed his breathing getting heavier by time as he was inhaling and exhaling deeply. He is actually too angry for the first time with you. You bite your lower lip and gently hold his hand in yours, only for him to let out a sigh. Stay away from me for a while, he said, crushing your heart in pieces. Don't you think that it's getting too much now? You mumbled as he glared at you. You are getting too much, Ryan. Just because I gave you freedom, then it doesn't mean that you are roam around anywhere without informing me or taking guards with you. He spat those words while deadly staring at you. You gulped the lump in your throat, not daring to look at him. Both of you stood in a complete silence. He stared at you while you kept looking down. Don't you dare to get out of this mansion's gate without my permission. He broke the silence and left after shutting the door harshly. Your knees finally gave up and you drop on the marble floor. Unlike every time, you can't even blame him because today he almost lost you when one of his enemy was after you and his gun pointed right above you. If only Jungkook didn't come to save you, then you might have been considered dead by now. He was just being protective towards you, his wife whom he loved dearly. He gave you all the love you needed, you earned for. Even though your marriage was arranged, it turned out to be the beautiful with him. He does get protective sometimes, and how couldn't he when he is a mafia who is recklessly in love with his wife? He could bear any pain, but he wouldn't be able to bear the pain of seeing you hurting. You sat on the floor while burying your face in your knees, letting out your low sobs. You knew you can't blame him, but you can't fully blame yourself either. Being surrounded by gods 24 by 7 irritates. Being the daughter of another mafia, you had no friends, or let's say that you weren't really interested in people who would come at you only for your long lasting money. But with Jungkook, it's different. He is your husband and only love in the life. You feel secured and protected with him. Your father surely did too good for you by arranging you with him. A whimper left your lips as you stirred in your sleeps and searched for something to hug or more like someone, but he has been ignoring you since that evening. Receiving silent treatment and ignorance from Jungkook is something you have never imagined because he is your habit. You sighed and sat up straight on the bed with your messy hairs covering your face. It's the second day of your period. It's getting worse for you now. You couldn't handle your cramps without him cuddling you to fall asleep. As cringy as it may sound, but you needed him more during your bloody days. Last night was long because you had bad cramps, which resulted in you not getting a sleep, so you ended up eating a lots of ice cream, and now you feel more sick. I miss him, even though we are in the same house. You mumbled while tearing up. There goes your mood swings. Since that evening, you never went out. JK did not talk to you, never spent his time with you either. You wanted to talk to him, but you decided to keep quiet until his anger decreased. Well, that's the least you could do for now. As a husband, he never failed to make you happy in any way. A tear rolled down your cheeks as you craved for his attention even more. I'm sorry, can't you just forgive me? You mumbled and threw your phone aside. You felt your body burning, but you ignored it and went inside the kitchen to feed yourself. Just eat 6 whole packets of ice cream in one night? You mumbled, looking at the empty refrigerator. No wonder why I'm feeling cold and hot at the same time. Do you need anything, ma'am? She politely asked. I just need my husband. You mumbled under your breath, which went unnoticed by her. You saw the tray full of empty glasses in her hands. Where's Jungkook? Saw is in the meeting, in his study room. So that's where she came from. You couldn't help but feel jealous of your own maid because at least she knew where your husband was. You wanted to see him so badly. The door was slightly open, as if it was inviting you to peek inside. You could hear Jungkook's deep voice as everyone listened to him silently. You peeked in and your eyes landed on him almost immediately. There was he, looking devilishly handsome in the white shirt with the upper 3 buttons undone and the long sleeve folded till his elbow, his hair styled back, and then black jeans complemented his thighs even more. The way he was speaking was so attractive somehow. You could listen to him all day and night without being bothered. The seriousness on his face seemed intense. You could say that he was fully focused until his eyes caught the attention of other doe eyes admiring him. You didn't even realize that you were drooling over your own husband. Oh, how lucky you feel to call this man only yours. He locked his eyes with you for a second and then focused on the men in front of him. He ignored you again. You mentally groaned. You didn't even know what pace you were going through. You badly wanted to hug him and cuddle him. Weirdly, something inside you happened, or just say that those hormones kicked in again. You were totally in control of your hormones when you slowly walked in his room as he stared at you without blinking. It was normal for you to roam around the mansion anywhere because he never put any restrictions on you. The men inside the room lowered their heads at your presence because they were fully forbidden to even stare at you. Jungkook assumed you need something when you stood right in front of him. What? Before he could complete his sentence, you were already sitting on his lap like a baby while your hands surrounded his neck. He sighed and looked around. The meeting is dismissed. You can all take your leave. He stated, and in a span of seconds you both were alone. He gently stroked your hair as you buried your face in the crook of his neck, making him lightly chuckle at your cuteness. How hard it was for him to ignore his wife, but he did it anyway, just to teach you a lesson. Hey babe, what happened? He softly asked as his hand went to cup your face. Yeah, Ryan, you are burning. Are you sick, baby? He worriedly questioned as you shook your head with small pout on your face. I just ate a lot of ice cream last night and got a little fever and cold. You sniffed, yearning a sigh from him. Who told you to eat so much ice creams? He asked, now staring at your eyes, his one hand wrapped around your waist while the other was stroking your cheek softly. I had bad cramps. Your eyes welled up with tears as his eyes widened. He is fully aware of your mood swings and your bad cramps too. Hey, don't cry, please. He gently wiped your tears and pulled you up in his arms. Standing on his feet with you in his arms, he made his way towards your shared bedroom. Bring the heat pads in our room. He informed the maid and entered your room. Carefully placing you on the bed, he planted a kiss on your forehead and went towards the drawer. You should have told me about your periods. he mumbled while searching for the medical box which had different kinds of medicines. It always you who treats his wounds often, but look at him now, searching for your medicine. Take this, he said while handing you 2 tablets for your fever. You know, I hate them. You mumbled. He sighed and kneeled down to your level. Holding your hand in his, he looked at you. I know, but your fever may get even worse, so you need to take them, he said, yearning an annoyed sound from you. You just have to gulp them, Ryan. You nodded and finally took the medicines as he patted your back. He stared at the floor as the voice back in your head rang and told you to say something. I'm sorry for that day, you mumbled, earning a soft chuckle from him. He sat beside you and pulled you closer to his chest. Please don't ignore me, Jungkook. I hate it so much when you go away. You know you are the only person for me. By the time you heard tears in your eyes, which made him worried and guilty for you. I sometimes hate your period hormones for making you cry every month, he said and again kneeled down on the floor while wiping your tears away. Me too. Why do I have to behave like a child though? But it hurts, you know. I can't bear the pain of being away from you, you said while playing with your hoodie's long sleeves. He stared at you fondly with a small smile dancing on his lips. And just like that, I won't be able to live if something happens to you, he said, holding both of your hands. Now stop crying. He lightly chuckled as he noticed your red nose, which made you look cute. Even I don't want to cry, but the tears won't stop, Jungkook. He chuckled again. You know, I love your periods, just because it brings the baby inside of you. You glared at him with a pout, and he laughed again. Ha, cute. You are going to be the death. You placed your palms over his lips and swallowed your tears immediately. Don't say that, just don't say that word. I don't want to hear it. You will never leave me here alone, you said. His eyes softened as he saw the worry in your eyes. He softly pulled your hands away from his lips and planted a kiss on your knuckles. I will never leave you, he said while being aware that it's a lie. The world you both live in has no happy ending, but as long as he is with you, in this moment, that's what happiness is for him. You are the beginning and ending of his happiness, and no matter what, he wants to protect you, cherish, and love you until his death calls him and embarrass him forever. I'm sorry for my behavior that day. You know, I'm just scared to lose you. And that day, I saw how fearful it is to live without you. That's why my anger got the best of me. You know, I really didn't mean anything that I said on that day, he stated as you smiled and pulled him in a hug. I was wrong too. I shouldn't have left alone. You mumbled, rubbed your back, and whispered soothing words for you. After a while, he left your weight getting heavy on his body, which means you fell asleep because of the impact of medicines you took earlier. He gently laid you on the bed and covered your body with a blanket. You were still holding on to his hand, which he didn't mind at all. Planting a soft kiss on your temples, he carefully freed himself from you and adjusted the pillow above your head so you could sleep more comfortably. Suddenly, a soft knock could be heard on your door. Jungkook got up and opened it as he was greeted by the maid. He took the heating pads and closed the door again. He placed those heating pads above your lower abdomen so you won't feel more pain. This was his all-months routine anyway. I love you, Jungkook. You mumbled in your sleep, making him chuckle. I love you too, he said with a big grin on his lips. Sleep well, princess.